Any chance we'll ever get to be a completely red state and work on these unions?
Oh, yeah.
And become a right to work?
First step is we're going to deal with collective bargaining for all public employee unions.
Right.
Because you divide and conquer.
Cut the hell out of spending. And
this is and has been our goal to which we dedicate major resources.
A showdown between Governor Bruce Rauner and state employee unions is brewing.
By executive order, preventing state agencies from withholding fair share dues with non-union members.
What you and Governor Walker want to accomplish, you have to diminish union power.
I would abolish all teachers' lounges where they sit together and worry about how woe is us.
Who deserves a punch in the face?
Oh, the National Teachers Union.
Well, as a second-degree black belt, I would appreciate the opportunity.
Woman in my school, I've worked with her for 20 years. We could never get her to sign a card, and she told me she's ready for the fight. So I almost cried when she said that.
The hedge clippers are working to expose the mechanisms hedge funds and billionaires use to influence government and politics in order to expand their wealth, influence, and power.
Everybody is bashing on teachers. And we want people to know that we work hard every day.
I felt like I represented that voice of all those teachers who couldn't be here.
Patients, not profits. We need staffing to care.
Staffing ratio is something important for patients to know because it's unsafe. So we need you guys to help us out.
Hospitals become big businesses. They're supposed to be nonprofit, and that's just in name only. It's getting to be a scary world, it really is.
Someone has to speak up because we're the voice of the people.
When we let wealthy special interests make decisions for us, we lose. It's as simple as that.
The Center for Individual Rights is the right-wing organization that's behind this case. So it's big corporate money trying to take power out of the hands of everyday people.
Unions are one of the few, if not the only mechanism by which common workers can exert any influence over their wages, their benefits, and working conditions. I came to express my concerns about the attacks on public unions and working people. Unions bring a stability to the middle class. Without them, we're going to see an erosion.
We've heard about some Supreme Court cases that sound really bad for union rights, and that's why we're trying to get our membership levels up to 80, even 90%. You know, if everybody's a member, then it doesn't really matter what the Supreme Court does.
I've put thousands of miles on my car driving all over the state. When you knock on somebody's door, I just drove 200 miles to talk to you about the union. They're willing to give you the time to talk to them. I got people calling me, hey, am I a fair share? And if I am, send me a union card. I need to sign it.
It's real important that we do become active and involved, because if we don't speak up, they're going to say, well, they don't care anyway, we can do what we want.
We need to engage students in projects as much better predictor of student success than tests.
It's very important that the role that testing plays helps people succeed in education.
That's why we are asking for a change, because the business plan is helping to drive continuation of a high-stakes consequence environment.
We went in as shareholders of the company raising these questions.
The Pearson business model is still very focused on high-stakes testing. Do a different kind of business plan, one that is aligned with what kids need to know and be able to do in a global economy.
This testing regime is not working for us. All education revolves around it, and we don't want it.
AFT members have spoken up, along with business leaders, community partners, and parents, that schools should be places of learning and joy, not stressing and testing.
But I also hear from parents who worry about too much testing, and from teachers who feel so much pressure to teach to a test that it takes the joy out of teaching and learning.
In a policy reversal, the Obama administration, which has supported student and teacher assessment, now says testing has gotten out of hand.
Today we came out to share our views about ESEA. I believe that if Congress takes away the paraprofessional standards, that instead of coming into the 21st century, we'll be regressing because we won't be able to attract quality people to the profession.
We're lobbying to ensure that we're going to continue to have highly qualified paraprofessionals. Our students need it. Our students deserve it.
Ms. Weingarten, implementing ESSA, why do you believe that it is important for federal law to require equity and adequacy in how education money is spent?
ESSA is a civil rights law,
And it is about trying to make sure that there's opportunity for all children. That's what the reset was, to go from a top-down test and punish system in making sure that the kids who have had the least get the most.
This is why I'm here. As a teacher, I work every day to give my students the best I can, but I know I can't expect them to focus on what's going on in school when they're stressed and anxious about their families and their future. I know because I was in their shoes. My status here is now temporary. I need Congress to act on a permanent solution and pass immigration reform. I am here for the millions who want nothing more than to walk out of the shadows and build on the promise of an America that breaks down barriers instead of building walls.
The teachers in this country proudly support dignity and respect for all immigrants. We must stop tearing families apart. We together must create comprehensive immigration reform.
This is day 10 of our hunger strike. I got involved because I feel that it's a shame that children do not have a neighborhood high school in their community that they can walk to.
Mothers and fathers, we came together and we developed a vision for diet and 6 feeder schools in the neighborhood because Chicago Public Schools did not have a vision except for destabilizing the schools in our community.
I'm tired of seeing my children and other children's education being sabotaged.
The support has been what's keeping us going and keeping us energized.
This community has fought for schools to be fixed, not closed. He said, not just rising up, but I'm coming to you with a solution that has been routinely ignored.
You need to get involved. You need to know what's going on in your neighborhoods. It may not be affecting you right now, but it won't be long before it does.
Respect the constitutional right of all humanity, regardless of race, creed, color, and sexuality.
Last fall, I went to Randy and told her I thought it was time for our union to step up and find a way to address the problem facing the black male. She agreed. I've always said the fight for racial equality for all people is real union work. That's what it's all about. The 3 areas that the task force is dealing with: education, criminal justice, and economics. Every one of you asked to be on this committee, that you wanted to participate in a conversation and get us rolling.
And I think that the AFT is taking a lead so our community and the nation at large can address these issues also.
This is one of the things we have to make a decision about in our country. You can't talk about a quality education if you're not talking about early childhood education. And that is part of what animated our work here and really having full day pre-K for every single child. My dear friend Randy Weingarten, I know how much you believed in this, and you certainly can testify to the enthusiasm our educators have had. It should be a national obligation to reach full day pre-K for every child in this country so we can really move forward.
New York is focusing on how to raise pay for pre-K teachers across the system. Others are falling into the trap of access versus quality. We need to have both. It would take 150 years to get 75% of 4-year-olds in America into pre-K at the rate we're doing. And so I am glad that another New Yorker released a plan to get us there in 10 years. That's more my speed. And that's why the national election becomes very important. And by the way, that New Yorker is not Donald Trump. We need to take this New York great experiment and make it the reality for kids across the country.
I know that my kids, if they had more opportunities around here, they could do just about anything. If teachers are the only consistency they have in their life, and then the teachers leave all the time, It's heartbreaking.
Reconnecting McDowell, it's about raising student achievement for children, raising the economic opportunity for communities.
And a part of achieving that is providing housing to recruit and retain good teachers.
Today, we're at this point now of tearing down the building, and we're going to replace it with a thriving enterprise with apartments for teachers and professionals.
Going to be one of those things you look back on and go, you know what, that was the turning point of making our county a wonderful place to live. I think that it says a lot about AFT that they are trying to help our community. Reconnecting McDowell, it's going to help McDowell County flourish.
The AFT, we're going to stand shoulder to shoulder with our brothers and sisters in the steelworkers. United we stand.
This is solidarity right here.
What are we doing to lift up the professionalism of all 5 of our divisions in solidarity with workers outside of our union?
The man who has an office right here declared war on all of us. You want a battle? You got it, brother.
Do whatever you have to do. Thank you for all of your support. We're going to win. No one can afford to stay home on election day. It's the most powerful, non-violent instrument we have in a democratic society, and we must use it.
Free, quality, public education they deserve.
We've got 20,000 people who are going to be walking into our schools, highlighting sustainable neighborhood community schools that if billionaires want to be involved, they should contribute their fair share in taxes. In 40 cities across the country, walk-ins are happening like this right now.
What's the whole point of us going to school, getting an education, if we're not fighting for it?
That relationship with the teacher is so critical to a child's learning. And I think it's time we started supporting teachers, not scapegoating teachers in America. And I'm proud to have teachers and educators. Thank you, AFT.